Welcome to Term 4. If I had a gold medal, I would issue that to every single staff member for the effort that was put in for Term 3. What a term it was, with COVID really impacting our school life. But we came to the fore, and I think our light did shine, and that's a credit to all of us. So thank you very much indeed. We now commence our final term for the year, and COVID is still with us, but we're very much looking forward to the return of our students this term. We know that our middle school students, or some of them, will still be at home, but I think that's going to be for a fairly short period of time. At our last briefing, I mentioned the word Meraki, which is to do something with soul and love, and I think that described effectively what our approach was last term. We have a huge term ahead of us again. Year 12 in particular are students that we're all very conscious of and we all want to support in the best possible way that we can. And I know that our leadership team has been working very hard behind the scenes to make sure that our Year 12 students are as well prepared for their exams that they can be, but importantly that they do get that sense of pride as they leave the school. So some of the activities will clearly not be the same as they have been in the past, but we will do our best to be creative in ensuring they have a good finish to their final schooling. In terms of next year, we're preparing capital budgets, and heads of faculty have been asked to contribute capital items for the budget next year. It is going to be another interesting year. We hope that COVID will not be impacting near as much, but we have a lot to look forward to. And those capital budget items will be revised by the executive team and will determine what we can and we can't do, of course, next year. You'll also notice, particularly in the senior school, that there's been a lot of works that have been undertaken during the break. And I do thank all those staff who have been here over the school holiday period, but in particular our Year 12 students and our senior school students indeed, when they come into the upper secondary building, will see that we have brand new carpet. We badly needed to replace that, but it looks fantastic, and I think that's going to really give us some sunshine in Term 4. Also, in our former Year 12 common room, you'll see that not only has there been new carpet, but brand new pin boards have been put up there as well, so the room is looking really, really good. You'll also see that at morning tea time as you come to receive morning tea from us at the old Year 12 common room. In 2021, we have been discussing with the consultative committee, and a lot of planning has been undertaken by Lance Ryan in particular, but with members of our leadership team and heads of faculty, to prepare a new timetable for 2021, which will be different to the timetable that we are running this year. There was great endorsement from members of the consultative committee, and Lance will look forward to sharing this with you briefly today, but also working with the heads of faculty to fine-tune the timetable, which will be much more effective and productive to ensure that our student outcomes are as best as they can be. In terms of our vision, mission and values, we all know that our mission is to provide quality learning opportunities for all students at our school. And we have done that under exceptional circumstances this year. So thank you very much. In terms of our strategic plan, we are still focusing on some of our key priorities, and you can see in the grid there that it's there for everybody to see. And we have deviated a little bit with remote learning because that has been, of course, the critical agenda for us. But it doesn't negate the fact that we are still focused and intent, particularly on our TLM model, and we have made good traction despite the fact that we've had this, have been dealing with this crisis. So I look forward to working with you all again this term, to welcoming you back at the start of the term, and I think, like our parents, you'll all be looking forward to getting back to some form of community spirit. In saying that, we are a COVID-safe school, and we'll be ensuring that the safety is our #1 priority for you as a staff and of course our students. And more information will be fed through to you by relevant members of the leadership team via email and via team meetings and so forth where relevant. So have a great term, and we look forward to everything that it has to offer towards the end of the year. Thank you very much.
Good morning and welcome back to Term 4. This is an important term for Year 12. As you can imagine, they only have 3 to 4 weeks left with us. It will include trial exams and it will include an opportunity for us to celebrate their time at Oakleigh Grammar. Please make sure that they do the revision that's required and that you take time to find out what they need to make sure that they are prepared appropriately for their examinations. We will have an opportunity to say goodbye to them, but those plans will not be made available for probably another week or so. So enjoy your time left with Year 12.
Good morning everyone and welcome back to Term 4. To begin with, I just want to say thank you for all the hard work that everyone's put in for the last term with remote learning, with on-site supervision, and all the support that our students and our parents have received during this time has been tremendous, and your hard work is certainly noted and well appreciated. In terms of that, we've been working in the background with our TLM and moving that forward, but we've also had a good look at how we can improve our shape of the day so that as we move into our next year, we may be able to do, if we have to go into hybrid learning, we'll be more successful in that. So I'd like to introduce you to the shape of the day proposal that we put forward to the consultative committee, seems like last week, but I think it was 2 weeks ago. As we can see here, I won't run through every little piece, but we currently run at 6 periods per day, anywhere between 50 and 55 minutes from junior school to senior school. What we have proposed is that we'll move to a 5-period day at 65 minutes periods per lesson. So we're going to get more per lesson and with 5 periods. As we can see, we have junior school and middle school and seniors are different, and the only difference in the entire day is that each day will be extended by 5 minutes. There will be new times for recess and lunch. The new time, the proposal allows for cross allocation of teachers who do work in junior school and our middle secondary senior school, and it allows for sport times as they currently are running, and it allows us to have no overlap of junior school and secondary school recess and lunchtime so that we can socially distance appropriately. Another great thing, as I said before, is that it's a hybrid model. So if we do have to move off-site, perchance that we go back into remote learning or part remote learning, we can keep this same timetable with very little change, and it keeps a consistency and a constancy for our students and our teachers. A great proposal, was well received at consultative committee. I put this to you to think about, discuss. It's a great excitement for next year, but it also fits into what we're further doing with the teaching and learning model across the school. And in the background, we've been working on that, particularly focusing on the junior school at this moment. And I'd like to introduce you to the quartet model. So the junior school quartet. It's a 4-staged or 4-phase personalised learning composed for developmental age and stage appropriateness from years ELC, Prep to 2, Year 3 and Year 4 to 5. And I'm going to hand it over to Shelley to explain this further and to introduce you to the core concepts.
Thank you, Lance, and welcome everybody to Term 4. I'm very excited to talk to you about the junior school quartet model. As you can see, and as Lance stated, we have 4 stages that we're focusing on, which create our quartet. Here we have ELC, our exploration area, Prep to Year 2 with engagement, Year 3 explanation, and Year 4 and 5 elaboration. The junior school quartet model incorporates the principles of the Reggio Emilia, which you will see evidence of within our ELC across K2 and K4. We move into our Prep to Year 2 quartet, where you will see evidence of the teacher-directed instructional model. And once we move into Year 3, we see a solid combination of both an instructional model and working into our inquiry-based learning style. At Years 4 to 5, we transition our students to the inquiry phase, which puts them in good stead for the MYP model in middle school. So our Early Learning Centre already work exceptionally well under the Reggio Emilia principles. What we'll be working towards is creating a far greater transitional phase with our K4 students who then come into the prep program where we have a greater focus on the instructional model. So for prep to year 2, from 2021, when you come into our junior school, you'll see a focus on the explicit instruction. Why? It's so that we can give our students the greatest opportunity to consolidate the basic foundations, in particular across literacy and numeracy, where when they move into year 3, they can build on these, which again prepares them for middle school and beyond. Year 3, we've elected to create a little standalone phase. So part of our quartet is to have our year 3 students showing evidence of solid consolidation of those literacy and numeracy foundations. And what we do is we then take them into the next stage where they build on their inquiry. So they build on their questioning, their thinking, and it also allows them the opportunity to take risks with their learning and work towards identifying what their strengths are as a learner and actually giving them a little bit of student voice as to where they're going next with their learning, their growth and their goals. Our year 4 and 5 phase is extremely exciting. In particular, our year 5 students will get to create some project-based learning and come up with some ideas and perhaps leave a little bit of a legacy as they depart our junior school and make their way into the middle school. Year 4 and 5 will work closely together. Educators will work closely with their planning with the aim for our students to transfer what they have learned in ELC and what they have taken through all the way into their schooling into year 4 and 5, and then taking those skills and giving teachers in the middle school an opportunity to build on those within the MYP model.
Good afternoon everybody, it's nice to be able to shortly welcome you back here on campus. I hope you've had some time over the last few weeks to spend some time for yourself, but obviously with your families as well. As we head back into term 4, I do encourage you all to make sure you've read the updated protocols document. Very important that we're up to date with what's being put in place and to make sure we're not being complacent, particularly around things like our hygiene and our social distancing. So please make close attention to the protocols update, but also some information around the duties. Now, lots of things were happening in term 3. One of the most exciting projects that I was involved in during term 3 was looking at the new student leadership model. And a lot of work has gone into that, and I'm very grateful for the work by the heads of school and people like Natasha and Fiona and Joanne, but particularly the students, because this new student leadership model has been driven by student input. We had a wonderful survey that was conducted, but we also met with the SRC and the Year 5 leaders as well. And our student leadership model was very much about driving some consistencies from junior school through to middle school into senior school, building on the model that was implemented from junior school this year and seeing how we could strengthen the middle school and senior school model as well. One of the most exciting things that I was involved in during term 3 was having a look at the student leadership model. And a lot of work has gone into that behind the scenes with the respective school leadership teams, but also importantly, the students. And we've had some great input from the students through surveys, but also through SRC meetings and the Year 5 leadership team as well. And the key aspects of our new leadership model, or our revised leadership model, was about building on the history and traditions of the school, but also making sure that there was a degree of consistency in our processes and protocols going from junior school, middle school into senior school. And as you can see on the slide, the real key elements that we want to be driving through this model is around the leadership of self, leadership of others, and leadership through service. And very much about trying to enhance student action. And I think the comment there is about a focus on doing rather than being leaders. So they're active in their leadership, they're enhancing their student voice, and trying to promote student leadership where it's been run and driven by the students, but also there's a degree of accountability for those who are successful in leadership roles, that they have some degree of accountability as well. So just very briefly, there'll be more detail coming out about this, but the new roles, as I said, if I start with the junior school, building on what they implemented this year, and then trying to develop a degree of consistency moving into middle school. And you can see a few new portfolios there which we're really keen to get up and running, and hopefully that'll again over time roll into senior school. And then one of the aspects with all three schools is this notion that there are opportunities for students to undertake leadership roles even without having a formal badge for particular activities or particular events. So a lot more information will come out about this, but I'm really excited about this because this is being driven for the students and by the students. And I think that's the end of our presentation for this morning, so looking forward to seeing you all back and all the students back next week.